The Apocalypse is the last book of the Bible. It was written on the island of Patmos. In chapter 1, verse 11, it is written, "I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea." On our tour of the 7 churches of the Apocalypse, we visit these 7 cities that received the Apocalypse in the 1st century AD. Our tour starts early in Smyrna, or Izmir in Turkish, the 2nd church of the Apocalypse. Today, Izmir is the 3rd largest city in Turkey. It has 4 million inhabitants. It is a modern city. From the biblical city, only a Roman agora remained. This agora, or square, is the focus of our stop in Izmir. After Smyrna, we have a 3-hour trip to Pergamum, the 3rd church of the Apocalypse. When we arrive in Pergamum, we have lunch and then the visit begins. Pergamum was a very important Greco-Roman city, the capital of the kingdom of Pergamum. In Pergamum, we visit the Acropolis, or the Upper City. We see the remains of the Temple of Trajan, the most inclined theater in the Greco-Roman world, and the place where the altar of Zeus was, which is the building interpreted by many as the throne of Satan. On each visit, we have plenty of time to pray and talk about the letters written for each church. At the end of the day, we go to our hotel. The 2nd day begins with a visit to the city of Akhisar, where the ancient city of Thyatira, the 4th church of the Apocalypse, was. Only a part of a Roman avenue, some walls, and some statues remain of the biblical city. This relatively short visit gives us the opportunity to talk about the letter written for the church of Thyatira, and to pray. Then we leave for the main visit of the day, Sardis. Sardis is 60 kilometers from Thyatira. This ancient city was the capital of the Lydians. It is the kingdom that invented the coin in the 6th century BC. Sardis was always an important city. Today, among the archaeological remains, the most prominent are the Temple of Artemis, a Roman bath gymnasium complex, and an old synagogue. The remains of this quite large ancient synagogue indicate the strong Judaic presence in Roman Asia that was crucial to the growth of Christianity in this area. After lunch, we leave for the last visit of the day, Alaşehir. Alaşehir today is a small Turkish city where the old city of Philadelphia was. Like Thyatira, in Philadelphia there are also few remains of the Roman city. We visit the remains of a Byzantine church. We talk about the letter written for the Church of Philadelphia, and we pray. At the end of the day, we depart for PAMUKKALE, where we stay the night. On the third day, we visit 3 biblical cities in the Lycus Valley. Our first stop is HIERAPOLIS. There we see several archaeological remains, such as a Roman theater. Next to the old city is a wonder of nature, PAMUKKALE, or Cotton Castle. They are natural pools formed by lime. After lunch, we make the second visit of the day, Laodicea, the 7th church of the Apocalypse. We walk through the Roman streets, visit a Byzantine church, and see various other Roman vestiges. We have time to read the letter written for the Laodicean church and to pray. The last stop of the day is COLOSSEA. Unfortunately, this biblical city was never excavated, so we don't see much. In the end, we have a 3-hour trip to COLOSSAE, where we stay this day. On the 4th day, we have 2 options. Option 1. With a private boat, we go to the Greek island of Patmos, where the Apocalypse was written. We depart early in the morning, and in 4 hours we reach Patmos. In Patmos, we have 2 visits: the Orthodox monastery of St. John the Theologian, and the cave of the Apocalypse, where, according to tradition, John received the revelation of Jesus Christ. After lunch, with the boat, in 4 hours, we return to COLOSSAE. Option 2. First, we visit the famous city of Miletus, where the philosopher Thales was born. It is also the city where the elders of Ephesus and Paul met for the last time. We visit archaeological remains, such as the Great Theater. We have time to talk about the letters written by Paul, and to pray. After lunch, we have the second visit of the day, the Temple of Apollo in DIDYIMA. It was the 3rd largest temple in the Greek world. We return to the hotel in COLOSSAE. On the 5th day, we depart early to visit Ephesus, the capital of Roman Asia and the first church of the Apocalypse. It was one of the largest cities in the Roman Empire and an important biblical city. It is written in the facts that Paul lived almost 3 years here, and the name of Ephesus is mentioned in the Bible more than 20 times. We walk through the Roman streets. We see Hadrian's temple, several Roman baths, the Library of Celsus, the Great Theater, and other archaeological remains. We have time to talk about the letter written to the church in Ephesus and to pray. After lunch, we have another important visit. We visit the Basilica and the tomb of John the Evangelist, who received the revelation of Jesus Christ on Patmos. After finishing the visits, we go to the airport. Normally, the visits of the 7 churches of the Apocalypse end. According to your international flights and your preferences, you can add more days of visits before or after the tour of the 7 churches to visit Istanbul, Troy, Cappadocia, etc.